Hello. In the last video, we talked about how the narcissist will definitely be motivated by having to feel better about themselves. And they'll do anything that it takes to help them feel better about themselves if they need to. One of the ways that they do that is they'll cut you down. They'll insult you. They'll call you names. They'll make you feel bad about yourself. They'll get jabs in when they can, right? We've all been in and around our narcissist when they've done this. It's absolutely a cruel thing that they do. They do it on purpose to help themselves feel better about themselves. And we talked a lot about this, woven in throughout the rest of the videos, but it certainly does deserve its own video. How they cut you down just to make themselves feel better is insidious, it's deplorable, and this tactic they employ is particularly abusive and can have alarmingly lasting negative effects on the victim. I'm sorry, but it's freezing here. You know, I checked too, because back like in 1990 when I still lived in Rhode Island, I would go jogging at 5 a.m. in the winter, in the dark, with the snow every morning before work. I was like 23. 3 miles. 5 a.m. in the snow. Do you know how cold it had to have been? No. Now I just checked, it's 63. Yeah, I'm freezing. I've gotten soft living here for 27 years. So many of us go through life with some kind of hang-up about something physical about ourselves. It's very natural. It's very normal. And the ebbs and flows and the highs and lows of the handle we have on that insecurity can be extreme. It can be, you have good days, you have bad days. Okay. The narcissist catches you at your lowest and insults you or degrades you, calls you name. We'll just use the word insults. Cut you down, whatever you want to call it. When you're at your lowest, they do that to keep you down. To keep control. They like that you're there. If they catch you at your highest and you're feeling great about yourself one day, they might insult you to bring you down, to regain control. So they attack. They do it so that they don't want you getting like too big for your britches, or how do they say, feeling like you're too special. And you know, the old adage of, because, he doesn't want me going out and finding somebody else. Yeah, they may even try to sell that to you also as like, I love you so much, I don't want you going out and finding something. You know what I mean? Like if you're working out or something. What are you trying to do? Leave me? And blah, blah, blah. They'll say all this kind of stuff. They'll go at it from that angle. It has nothing to do with it. They just don't want you feeling good about yourself. Really, that's why. I have a little machine here. It's no bigger than this. It's just steps. That's it. I bought it for $99 at like Sharper Image 25 years ago. It just steps. That's it. I had started to do it every day. Do you know what he says to me? You better stop doing that. That thing is making your calves huge. Or legs huge or something like that. My legs haven't changed, by the way. They haven't. Okay? Around the same time, if not the same day, I remember him saying, those jeans make your butt look big, which is like the worst thing you could say to any girl, right? I checked before I made this video. Those jeans that I had on the day he said that, size 2. So mathematically, how can that be possible? He's clearly saying that something to hurt someone. He was out to insult me that day. And there's so much at work here that it's beyond disgusting to me, yet we just fluff it off as being, this is sinister. I mean, what you say to women especially, it can last. I'm even careful with children. Girls especially. I never say, "Ooh, you've gotten so big." It's a huge deal to me. I'm super sensitive to it. I'll say, "Oh, look how tall you are." But big, mm-mm. You got to be real careful with girls. They feel terrible. And some get affected for years about things people say to them about our physical appearance. Years. And here the narcissist is kind of hopping like more constantly or often. That's abusive. These are things that affect your mind, how you see yourself, how you feel. Therapy has to get involved at that point. If it's a parent or a friend or a doctor or a teacher, we consider it how awful that was. Let's get abuse to overcome it. That person was abusive. Therapy to overcome it. That person was abusive. Yet, we take it from the narcissist over and over again. Your butt looks big in those jeans? I don't care if you're a size 22. The size doesn't matter. I only tell you that because it just punctuated to me how, because I've gotten to a point that I can get my self-esteem in check and know that because I'm healthy and I had these qualities about myself that I like, I'm good with the person that I am, regardless of if I don't work out anymore and I'm getting out of shape. I try to be easy on myself. We all get mad at ourselves. Don't get me wrong. But in other words, it's not going to affect whether or not I think I'm a good person or make me have... This guy's trying to insult me based on that. I think I challenged him and said, you know what I mean? But it doesn't always happen that way. Going way back, years in your life, you can remember somebody saying something negative about you. When I was 9 years old, do you want to hear something funny? My pediatrician was a big Czechoslovakian woman. She did all the Flamand cousins. We all had the same woman. And she used to make you walk up and down the hallway. They would check you for, your posture and scoliosis and all this. I still remember this to this day. In her Czechoslovakian accent, she said to my mother, who used to make us do posture with a book on her head. So, of course, we had good posture. She said, well, good posture, but she need to lay off of the ring ding, eh? The ring dings. Those little Drake's cakes or whatever. Good posture, but she needs to lay off of the ring ding, eh? I'll never forget it. It locked in, internalized, and I still can hear her say it. We allow the narcissist to say ring ding after ring ding after ring ding after. It breaks my heart. Because one sentence has stayed with me. Yet we slough it off like it's nothing. And they come at us with a ring ding every day. And we just accept it as normal. We start to think of it as regular, like it's okay. Like it's not affecting you. He's not really calling me names, or he's not hitting me, or at least he's not. We have to be careful not to allow the comments made by the narcissist. If you are in a situation where you're not getting out, we have to be careful not to let the comments come off as or come off as just fluff. Like, regard them as just fluff. And we have to think of a way to not let them enter into our psyche and stay there and live there and make a home there. Many of us have and did and do, but I think we can work on that together and take a solid inventory about ourselves, about what's going on. And size doesn't matter. I just told you that story because I thought that was actually particularly funny. It has nothing to do with size. This isn't about physical. It's how you live your life. And are you living in a way that is worthy of magnificence? And be proud of who you are if in fact you are living the way that you think a worthy person, worthy of goodness. You exist in a place that you are happy and proud. And I think that be proud of who you in fact are, not who they are trying to insult you and tell you that you are. And take the insults that they're saying, keep them where they are, within a sinister source. They're not based in truth. They're coming from a place of hurt on purpose. They're being used as a tool to hurt you. That's what it's coming from. And the pediatrician, I'm sure she didn't mean anything mean. I hail from a tiny people, so I can't imagine I was a big 9-year-old, but I certainly felt so after that. I saw myself that way in my mind. And I was small. I hail from tiny little Italian jockeys on one side and tiny French carpenters on the other. But that comment still rings in my head. And from that point forward, I definitely had a vision of myself. Or I was careful with things. Ring dings. I'll start. I want us to be proud and think of a way that we don't internalize their negative comment towards us. And I'll start. I think the way to do that is let's list the positive things about ourselves that we do like, that are our truth. What is your truth? Your truth has nothing to do with the insults they give you. My truth has nothing to do with the insults he gives me. I don't care. I don't care if I was a size 10. Guess what? I'm clean living, pure heart, good heart. I'm meditative, I'm loving, I'm introspective, I'm smart, I'm cultured. I try to give to the world. I think I'm in a good place. Tell yourself your list of accomplishments to yourself, about yourself, and don't be shy. Let's do it together. Maybe you're one of those, technical brainiac wizards, or a superb auntie to your siblings' kids, or a phenomenal, do you know what I mean? Whatever it is, list your truth. List your phenomenalness out. I don't care if I were in a size 8 that day and I grew from a 2 overnight. You don't say that to somebody. It's a mean thing to say to somebody. It's mean. There's nothing, no reason that had to be stated that day. None. Except to hurt someone's feelings. No reason you would say anything about somebody doing a stair stepper that doesn't make your calves big. I hadn't even been doing it for a while. I think it was like the 4th time I did it. And that's what he said. Why? Because I started to get into it and he didn't want me to. He didn't want me to get into the exercising. He wanted me to internalize the comment he made about me being on the stairs after my calf. Boom, then she'll stop. And I did. Did you know that? I did. I internalized it. And now what I would say is I'm a phenomenal, glorious human being, and you cannot infiltrate me with that negative nonsense. Be a warrior for yourself. Be your own advocate. Think of the goodness and wonder that is in your life. You are that person. You are that friend, that grandmother, that daughter, that granddaughter, that aunt, that cousin, that worker, that whatever it is that you're doing in life and you're moving through gracefully and with purpose and honor, and that is your truth. I don't care what they try to say to you. It is just to make themselves feel better and to maintain control over you. That's their purpose when they dig at you like that. Please don't internalize anything they come at you like that with as being true. Please don't. Please. Please. I want you to list what's good about you. And don't be shy. If you knew you, the comments that I make, if you knew you, think of how you would describe yourself to another friend. I think that people would describe me the way that I said. I make good choices. I'm a good kid. I'm a good kid. I was raised right. Okay? So I want you to list that and recognize that as your truth and stop listening to them. If you are still in it and you're not getting out, you can at least start to recognize when a comment comes up and say your positive list to yourself and try not to internalize it. You've got it. That is an abusive tactic they use just to make themselves feel better. It's dysfunctional. It's just another part of their dysfunction.